criminal that was just born Muslim, raised Muslim, super Muslim, forever Muslim. In certain parts of the country,
I can name so many.
Like overly culturally there.
The Muslims that have destroyed my country.
Huh?
What Muslim destroyed the country?
Okay, so bad. 2 or 3 Thursdays ago, a Muslim from Dearborn, he ran a truck into a Jewish school, right?
How you know he followed the teachings of the Quran? You can't say that. Just like you told me the gangbanger not a Christian. You just told me my Crip and Blood homies who go to church and go to funerals every other week at Christian churches are not Christians. You just said the most disrespectful shit. You just disrespected every hood funeral we ever had. But then you gonna sit here and say
hold on. Because that's called a hypocrite, brother.
No, because you used to talk to MTV niggas. You ain't talking to a real one.
That's a hypocrite.
I'm from the streets. They're Christian, bro. My grandma's Christian, homie. My uncle Christian, bro. My Crip homies and Blood homies are Christian. And they got little homies around the country that do what they say. They're Christians, bro. You're lying on the phone to prove a point.
Hold on.
Christians are destroying this country.
Grandmother? Or did I say
Christianity is destroying this country, bro?
I said blessed is
your grandmother because I'm sure your grandmother right now. The Christians and Jews are destroying my neighborhood, in my community, in my life. Christians and Jews, black and white.
Hold on. So if I call myself a Christian, but yet I go out and kill my brother, is that a Christian?
So why you call that Muslim? Why you call that dude in Dearborn a Muslim? Why you just didn't say a man in Dearborn?
Okay, so you're only telling me you understand what I'm saying when one says they are one thing, but they act in another.
So I'm gonna say I agree with you, and I'm gonna apply that same logic to the Muslim.
Fine.
So-called Muslim. He was not a Muslim. He was not acting in peace.
I'm good.
He was not submitting to the will of Allah.
I'm sorry?
You can't have it both ways, bro.
No. If you want to say that man is not a Muslim, fine.
So what's your next example? Because Christians for sure destroyed this country. People who was declared Christians that ran churches way above your authority. People who have actual denominations of Christianity.
My example would be,
bro, what's that dude named John Smith?
Who call themselves Muslims.
Do you know history, brother? Do you know Christians raised wars on these lands?
Do you know Muslims?
They've had Mormon wars here.
Do you know Muslims have
What are you talking about, bro? You just popping it. That's why you want to keep talking about that 5,000 year ago shit. Let's talk about what's going on right now. These Christians and Jews is raping kids, pimping on TV,
throughout the
talking about thank Jesus as they promote porn.
Have waged war.
All that.
Weren't you the same guys that were just saying Western culture is basically a sin?
Bro, check this out. Christians and Jews are so evil. Muslims that want to be evil, they fly to Jewish and Muslim and Christian countries to sell liquor and porn on the corner. Because they can't do that shit in the Middle East, in North Africa. You want to talk about some historical fake ass shit?
Wouldn't that make the Muslim more?
Because you're confident. You're the same type of person that doesn't give a fuck about the community. You want to sit in the house and brag to yourself about all the shit you know. But these motherfuckers outside killing our babies, bro, and you don't give a two shits about it. You don't care. The same gangbanger who might go help your little nephew or something, he's probably a Christian, bro. He's not probably a Muslim. Or he's probably an ex-Christian converted later on, bro.
Man. All right.
Ain't no man. That's the facts.
Hey, I gotta go to work in the morning, and now y'all just talking ignorance. This brother is talking ignorance. And I'm kind of offended, but I don't really care. Like I still like this guy.
You think this dude's a Muslim, y'all?
I like him a lot. I love you, brother.
No.
Mr.
Hey. You think if they shoot him tomorrow, his family gonna have a funeral at a mosque?
No.
You think they're gonna have it at a church?
Hey, Mr. Crip,
you think he probably got crosses tattooed on him? Hey, Americans are in denial. Americans are so Christian, they don't even realize they Christian. You're talking to a brainwashed man on that phone. He don't even realize he's Christian, bro.
Can I tell you something?
He don't even realize what a Christian is.
Hold on. Let me tell you
Tupac had a cross on his back. I bet you gonna say Tupac wasn't a Christian. Damn near every other song was about Jesus.
Brother, let me tell you something.
Brother, the Christian mentality is behind that black mentality that you loathe so much.
Okay,
that's
black,
the Christian mentality.
White, I don't care, Asian,
okay, the
Japanese.
rednecks that you loathe so much. When you say I don't listen to nothing from the blacks, they destroy their community.
Let me tell you how much I love you. Let me tell you how much I love you.
That's the Christian mentality. That's the Christian blacks.
Okay. Are you gonna let me speak?
Hey, you see Lil Durk start changing. He got closer to Islam. When he was on that Christian mentality.
Man, look. Okay.
When he was on that Christian mentality.
May I speak?
When you start defending these babies out here, start talking about your ego and what you care about, how many words you know and how deep you are. What about these little babies dying in the street?
Great.
You can go to work, bro. You can go to work. 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 But until you go to work, I can't tell you about these little babies dying out here, bro. You dudes should be ashamed of yourself. That we had an era with Malcolm X and all these people that came to us and told us the truth, and you niggas still denying it.
Man,
these Christians and Jews of this era, fuck what happened 2,000 years ago. These Christians and Jews of this era are behind the porn, are behind the pork, are behind the alcohol, are behind the crack, are behind the fentanyl, are behind the Molly, are behind the X, are behind the heroin, all that shit you complain about. They behind the AK-47s, they behind the AR-15s, the M16s, the Glock 9s, the P-80s. The Christians and Jews is, bro. You want to talk about this imaginary shit all day. I told you you can go to work. I don't even see why you're still on the phone. I would have hung up and went to work already. Because you don't care. You want to prove a point. You want to say, but El Shaddai came before in 3000 with a Septuagint. I say all that shit to entertain you. What I really care about is these little babies dying in the middle of the street.
All right. So if you care about the babies, shut up. Shut up.
Because you need to go to work. Just go to work.
Go
to work. Why you need to end? You're not getting the last word here. Fuck the pedophiles.
All you do is talk.
No, fuck pedophiles.
I act. Okay, so
fuck pedophiles. Fuck Baphomet. You don't need the last word. Go to work. Go to work, brother.
Let me tell you this story.
Go to work.
So my little cousin just
I guarantee you this man has crosses. This man wears crosses and believes in Jesus. Y'all in denial. Y'all want to say no, he don't. He with the devil. Where you learn about the word devil from? We don't even call him devil in Islam.
Right?
So he's a Christian.
He killed his
baby mama,
right?
Hold on.
And
hold on, wait. What happened, man? You telling us a story?
Yeah, I'm trying to actually speak. So 2 Thursdays ago, my little cousin, who it's not in his nature to do what he did, right? But 2 Thursdays ago, he killed his baby mama. He didn't try to, but he killed her. Immediately,
was he Christian?
I started praying to
Was he Christian? Did he believe in Jesus?
No, I don't know what he believes in, sir.
No, don't do that. No, don't do that, bro. You brought this up. Did he believe in Jesus? You know your own family member.
No.
You trying to use that sentimental shit to throw us off. We strong black man over here. You're not going to throw us off. You talking about religion. Was that family member you just named that did that horrible act, did he believe in Jesus? Was he raised up believing in Jesus and stuff? Whether he rebelled against it later or not, was he raised up in the religious Christian culture?
No, actually, no. His father spent years in prison. His mother
that don't matter, bro.
Bro,
this dude is playing. Was he raised up knowing about Allah or Jesus?
He was raised up believing in the streets.
Yeah, and he learned. Okay, let me tell you.
But that wasn't his nature.
Okay, you don't know about the streets. Let me teach you about the streets. They believe in Jesus in the streets, bro.
He's a good kid.
They believe in Jesus in the streets. That's why they go against the Bible and all that. That's why they use the word devil. That's an English word.
So
comes from the Bible.
I prayed for him.
That's why you have gang members named Satan and
He
devil and all
got
that.
let off on a misdemeanor charge.
Look, gang members don't have names like Satan or Diablos. Right.
Man, do you shut up or not?
Because you trying to throw us off with that, bro. The point is, these are Christians, homie, and you need to repent and get off that, bro. You need to be forgiven. You need to ask Allah for forgiveness for pushing that on our youth, bro. And they really trying to break that down and explain that. That's foul.
Sin. All right. Man, you are.
You want the last word to prove some point about these gang members being not Christians. These are Christians, bro.
He's not a gang member. No, he's not a gang member or a Christian. He's a
But what
kid
is it? You
that
brought
don't
up
know
about
no
the
better.
murder. Why you moving the goalposts around so much? We staying on topic
I'm
here.
not
We got an
moving.
audience involved.
Nah,
Here. We
moving
trying to save the
goalposts.
youth.
No, he's a kid that don't know better. That
No,
made
he's
a
somebody
mistake.
that was raised up in the Christian culture. You need to realize this.
No. He didn't grow up around that.
Many black gang members in the United States identify as Christians. So even if he was outside learning it, it's part of the Christian culture. Yes, it is. You're in denial, brother.
This is y'all boy. So he doesn't.
No, this is
so
the facts.
you don't have. So you have no grace for your fellow gang members that do.
Bro, my nephew was murdered
things.
around the corner from where I'm sleeping right now. My nephew was murdered by some blood around the corner from where I'm sleeping right now.
So if
Ain't about
you're
grace.
saying
He
what
was a
you're
Christian,
saying,
and the dude
you
that murdered
have
him
no
was a Christian.
grace. Even within Islam, you have no grace.
What is there about grace? You said you had to go to work, and you keep saying, "Let me say something before I go."
Man,
and I'm saying,
all right,
these
this
people you
guy's
talk
not
about are
intelligent.
Christians, though. That's the point you want to
So,
get away
I
from.
think-
Your
I
whole
think-
point,
I
the
think
last thing you're trying to say is that these
Rula
people
came
are not Christians. These are Christians,
But-
bro. Yes, they are.
This guy,
They're US
stop
American
getting your
Christians.
information from this guy because this guy has no grace.
No, because all you Christians get away with saying those ain't Christians.
Nor
those
can
ain't Christians.
he have grace
Those
for
aren't
a young
Christians. And y'all
man
teach them that they
who
can come
made a
back and
mistake.
repent, and as long as they say they believe in Jesus, it's cool. They can kill each other, eat pork, rape and sell
No,
women,
who
and
said
pimp
that?
and
Who
all
said that?
That shit come from Christian thinking.
You're saying that. You're wrong.
No, that's where that music comes from and all that. It comes from Christian brainwashing, and I'm here to break it.
No,
You got the right guy on the phone, and that's why you can't go to sleep. You can't get off the phone and go to sleep because it's burning you up.
You're a
You know
fool.
it's the truth.
You have nothing with the knowledge of Jesus. You're a fool.
No, you pushing that garbage, bro. Black gang members in the United States are Christian. They believe in Christian identity. That's why when most of them, what do most black gang members in the U.S. do to break away from the culture? They turn Islamic. It's the biggest breakaway. Oh, it feels so good. Yeah, because it's a Christian culture, bro.
He hung up.
Because it's a Christian culture, and he know it. That hurt him too much. He know all them people involved as Christians. Bro, my nephew was murdered right up the street from here. You can't miss me with that, bro. I'm in L.A., South Central. My homies die every day. And they Christians, bro. It's Christian on Christian. It's Christian on Christian war. That's a fact.
Right.
That's a fact, bro. No one wants to admit that. I've been figured that out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key to it. It's simple. It's not that deep. It's the one nigga raised Christian on one side, the other nigga raised Christian on the other side. They both hate niggas.
Man.
How deep is it, bro? It's when you deep because you keep talking about 10,000 years ago. But what's going on right now? When you talk about the black movement, you know what niggas keep forgetting? They keep taking religion out of it. Oh yeah, back then we were civilized. No, niggas was not. Niggas was saying, running around, the Christian ones were saying, yes, master, and licking boots. The only people that were saying, let's fight back was the Muslim ones. Come on, tell the facts, bro. I've been to prison level 4180 in California. Most of the big homies in there that was with the Panthers or the guerrilla family, all that, they either Muslim or converted Muslim, because you know they wasn't born. You know what I'm saying? That's why they even had the sick mentality to begin with, because the Christian shit. But they learned the truth later, bro, and they pushed that. That's what gave them that fire to keep going. Allah, you know what I'm saying? But it was so hard to get black Christians to even notice back at that time with the Martin Luther King brainwashing. They had to kind of put that on the back, you know what I mean, the back burner. So the whole point of the Panthers was to be like NOI without religion.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? They praised Malcolm X, bro. Like, but the point is, bro, my father made me read Malcolm X. I did not want to read that book because I'm at the end of the day, my middle name is Christian. Like, I don't care what this Muslim nigga got to say. Like, that was in my mind, bro, as a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He made me read that because he couldn't figure out how to control me or what to get through to me. So he planted that seed in me. And it took me years, even after reading the book, to realize, oh, Malcolm X was Muslim. It's like right in our face, like, bro, Martin Luther King was Christian. It's right. It's black and white. It's plain and simple. Do you want to be the nigga getting bit by the dog, or you want to be the nigga fighting back? Do you want to be the nigga getting hung on the cross, or the one fighting back? It's simple, bro. And when you start framing it like that for them, they get mad because it's obvious what you pushing. You teaching our own children to bow down to the devil, bro. Facts. And we're not in 65 no more where that's deep. That's like simple now. Like I could literally walk down Crenshaw and say that nigga, be like, that's right, bro. A smoker. This is like plain knowledge now, bro. Niggas are getting away with having intellectual jargon like, oh, well, and they don't even know nothing. I brought up Vulgate, the Latin. He don't know none of that, bro. He's a Christian, bro. That's a plain simple Christian. I don't know where you got the El Shaddai and all that from, but because this is why, bro. We go off their heart, right? We go off their heart, right? Like, it's not your intention, but it is your intention. Because once you know all that and you still push that, bro, that's what Allah wants us about. Once you know all that and you still push that, bro, that is your intention. You just putting your cultural comfort over.
But that's the thing, though. He never got to the level of understanding to where he could even embrace Islam. So it's like,
it's on the news now. We're not talking about Islam. We're talking about the truth of who the devil is.
Right. Okay. Yeah. He was
when Elijah Muhammad brought it out, it was deep.
Mm-hmm.
That was 60 something, and really, while it far is the 30s. But we gonna say when Malcolm X put it on the TV to where it became like going to school, like, you heard this say the white man the devil, pigs, fuck the pigs. Like, that was normal talk in the 60s and 70s amongst black kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
This was on records and shit underground, like how we say fuck 12 or whatever.
Mm-hmm. That's normal around the world. Like, even a Chinese man look at the white man as the devil. Like, everybody look at the white man as the devil, for real.
Except the Christians.
Right, for real.
You know, that's why they got to keep going to the historical shit. Well, Islam co-sign, bro, we're not even talking about all that. Because the truth is, I've never even been in the Middle East. Let's talk about right here, what that represents right here, and what that means right here, right now. You feel what I'm saying? Because I know my first introduction to the concept of that was through Malcolm X. Okay, this is a black man who's against the system, who's against what we was taught by our grandma and them. That's a hard stance to take. I love my grandma and them, but he's telling me not to eat pork. He's telling me, that's my version. I'm not going to sit here and argue all night about some shit that I'm not even around. I'm not in Saudi Arabia. Nigga, I know on the corner, them babies I'm trying to save, they already learned about Jesus.
Right.
You feel me? And you telling them don't learn about nothing else because it don't fit into the narrative of that. That's out.
That's out.
Yeah, them niggas a full Christian though.
And then how you gonna say the street people ain't Christians when they got street Christian rap at this point? They got Lecrae and D1 and it's all Christians. The whole RIAA of the United States of America was formed by Christians and Jews. We know what's going on. The real version of that's not even called Christians and Jews. You get what I'm saying? Like, you got in Africa where they Coptics and Jahudim and all. Like, come on, bro. This shit is simple. The ones that call themselves them words is exactly who it say in the Bible they is. The warning he gave. In the ending, the people that gonna call themselves Jews and they not, the synagogue of Satan. That's Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. He'll let you kick it off, letting you know.
Facts.
I feel like it's ego because even when I deal with Islam, I got to be humble. It's so much stuff I don't know. It's so many words I don't know. It's so, you get what I'm saying? It's like, that's why I asked them, do you have the ability to say you don't know? Because every place you talk about, there's Muslims there that have a different version of that story.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was explaining to him too. I was like, shit, you telling me about an Abraham story. I was like, he was telling me about an Abraham story. I'm telling him, like, shit, well, tell me, who was the baby that Abraham took up on the mountain about to sacrifice? He told me it was Isaac. I'm like, shit, in Islam, it's Ismail. You feel me? We don't believe everything you coming out this book with, and you expecting me to take it as the actual word of God or facts. You feel me? Like,
yeah,
you just had the full misconception that we supposed to believe them books, which is crazy.
But then it's kind of like, that's why I love that Islam is more of an intellectual thing. In the Quran, it's not even really saying like confirm or not confirm. It's teaching you to study. Like, go look at this, look at that. That don't match with this. That don't. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, what you start to realize is, if y'all got, what you said, 66 books?
Yeah, in the Bible, yeah.
Okay, and I think the first 5 is supposed to be Moses, right? Musa, right? So what I'm trying to say is, you got all these different authors, right? There's no way in hell these are like exact translations. Like, come on, bro. You got all these different authors. It's put together. It's retranslated. That's simple. It's like, in Islam, is not saying throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's saying still go check them out. But just be careful. Don't be stupid.
That's what I was telling him. The same thing. I'm like, man, I'm telling you, it's fragments of truth in there, you feel me? But to take it wholeheartedly as the divine revelation is, and to put it up against the Quran as if it's more accurate than this book, when this book literally goes back to the time of the prophet. That book don't goes back to the time of none of the prophets that is mentioned.
I know I've never seen, like, I'm going to say it again, I've seen a couple neighborhoods where maybe it's like, you know, maybe somewhere in Philly where they just been Muslim forever, but for the most part, the streets in the culture of the streets, even when it is like this organization is Islamic, maybe the dudes joining it come from predominantly Christian families. You get what I'm saying? Like we know where a lot of this brainwashing come from. It's not like we know why we think it's the year 2026. We know this planet been here longer than that. Like, it ain't that deep, bro. It's Christianity, Obi. You feel me? And what I realize is, this is what Elijah pointed out. The smarter the person is, if they from America and they black, the harder it's going to be to get through to them. Because they're fully entrenched in that information. They don't see it. They'll tell you, he doesn't know what year it is. No, you think it's 2026. What do AD mean? You think a dude named Jesus died 2026 years ago, this the year, you don't even realize that there's an Islamic calendar, and there's a Chinese calendar, and there's another Christian calendar in East Africa. They go off a whole different measurement and all that. Like, everything down to the way you even see time is corrupt.
We learning that right now in political science in my college course. We learning that right now that the calendar systems is all political, and it's all based on like religions and politics. Yeah.
Come on, bro. And that's what I was trying to point out to him. I'm like, bro, I'm not knocking the stories. Because once you get into Islam, it tell you respect all the different stories. They all got truth in them. Mm-hmm. I'm knocking the sides you take it. You keep saying they said, and the Bible said, and we say, and I'm like, bro, that's out. That's out. Because you're going to realize fast you're taking the side of the Romans and the pedophiles and the killers. That's why they got you wearing the cross and all that. Like, it's right in your face at this point. It ain't hidden no more.
Exactly.
You know? It's not hidden no more, bro. And I know for me, being a person that don't got kids, that's why I always bring that up. Like, bro, my passion for this is the kids. Like, when I meet younger people, because I got a young type energy. So when I meet younger people and I be peeping like, damn, they don't got that, bro. Like, I don't even believe in what the church said no more, but I'm still appreciate having that exposure. You feel what I'm saying? That's what made me open to going to a mosque and not feel weird and participate. You know what I mean? Just being introduced to spirituality and having that level of respect. I don't see that now. Most dudes I see arguing about Christianity, they don't even believe in it really. They be like, I'm non-denominational. I don't go. It ain't like grandma and them like, come on, baby, come to this church and stop hurting. You know what I mean? Like, you can feel the difference. It's more like an ego thing just to prove who know more. It ain't about like they really trying to save us and all that. I see that more with Islam. Look, Islam is so deep, bro. Everybody you meet ain't no goddamn scholar. You meet some nigga just like, yeah, I rock with this. Like, it's just whatever, right? So I'm talking about real life, everyday actions. Like I told the brother, bro, did you know in them nations you talking about, they fly out here just to do their devilish shit? Mm-hmm. Or they got little spots out there where they meet up. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, because out in the open, that ain't accepted. Mm-hmm. But we can't even believe that because we from America where everything's accepted.
Right.
We so evil, even if we go over there and see it's not accepted, we gonna say some stupid shit like, you know, they in the cut getting freaky high. You know, what's really like, we turned out, bro, and we don't realize it.
For real, and they really believe too, like, that's that point you brought out with the Christians believe that they really can do whatever they want. Once they get baptized, they believe they're free of all sins and Jesus died for their sins and they can just sin. You feel me? Now they just free to sin because they baptized in the blood of Jesus. Like, it's all just this manipulation that just leads up to these, like you said, gang culture and all this other bullshit that's going on for real.
Bro, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. A lot of homies don't like me because I don't go to funerals. I don't go to candlelight visuals no more, none of that. I'm gonna tell you why. Because when I got to the point where I was finna write the book and start really, you know, because me being a 5%er, it's like, first it's like against everything. But once I start getting into Islam for real, it was putting together the book and looking at it historically from a cultural standpoint, I said, nigga, all this is Christianity. Like all the homies who you saw in the car talking about that devil shit, when we go to the candlelight visual, the funeral, and all that, no, they're Christians, bro. And they're hardcore Christians. And they mean that shit. That's why they so hurt and when they go shoot and all that. They really feel like God then cursed them or Jesus ain't working for them. You get what I'm saying? Because they really, you get what I'm trying to say, brother? Like, they the ones who really took that Christianity shit to heart sometimes and really feel forsaken and like God don't like me or is something wrong with my DNA, I'm cursed or like, you get what I'm saying? Like, they bought so deep into it. You feel me? A lot of the homies is hardcore Christians. They may not be like superly active. And then let's be real, bro. Let's be really real. I feel like a lot of, not to get on my brother, I'm gonna just be real. A lot of non-denominational, not in the church Christians have a different opinion of what really goes on in there. Because in the actual church, it's a lot of street people. Right. Most of the most top church people are ex-street people, in my experience. Mm-hmm. Ex-pimps, ex-prostitutes, ex-hustlers, like, right? So, it all goes together, bro. Like, you can't say that the U.S. is not full of Christians. Mm-hmm. You can't say that Muslims are Muslims because they're Muslim, but Christians are Christians because I say so. We talking about niggas who don't go to church saying that the niggas who go to church are not Christians. This is how crazy Christianity is becoming now. Mm-hmm. This is how devilish it is, though. Even they know it's wrong. Even the Christians themselves. How many Christians y'all meet every day say, I believe in the Bible, but I don't believe what the church say? Because they already know about the Pope and the Catholics, and everybody knows this shit is horrible. Mm-hmm. So then they try to throw it off with the history, saying the Pope and the Catholics. No, nigga, let's bring it to right now. Then they say, no, that was the KKK and the slave master, and that was wrong, and that was the remix. No, nigga, the police officer that pulled me over was Christian. The Chinese niggas that own the store on Stocker and Crenshaw that been there 30 years, they don't believe in Buddha. They're Christian. Talk good English, too. When we keep going, the judge that sentenced me. Christian. Nigga snitched on me. Christian. My best friend, left side. Can't stand this nigga. Christian. He comes to me saying stupid shit. I'm like, you now, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything, we know, we still in the streets, we still do what we do, but we got to do it in the name of Jesus. I'm like, nigga, do you watch my content or read it like in the name of Jesus? See, I know the streets. That's why I know Crip Jesus, what it means to them. Because I'm smarter than they are their own self. I know that Jesus is their God. They're going to lie and say it's not. Nigga, how can you be the devil or call yourself Satan if you don't believe in Jesus or God? We don't even call them that in other cultures. See, this is what happens when you're so Christian, you don't even realize it. These niggas are like fish in water with Christianity. Mm-hmm. They don't even realize that devil is a Christian thing. Satan is a Christian thing. The dude with the red wings and the whoop bop and all that gets freaky in the bathroom, is on South Park and all that, that's the Christian thing. Why if I wear my hair long and look like a hippie or something and say, I'm Black Jesus, do all the so-called non-Christians start laughing? Because they know exactly what I'm saying. They're Christian. They was raised up like this. They was raised up to the point where all I got to do is put some thorns on my head and wear some dreadlocks. They going to say, oh, Jesus. Oh. I bet if they came from India and never seen a picture of Jesus, they wouldn't say that. So miss me with the culture we're talking about. We say, oh, man, they got niggas over there gangbanging. That is all Christian. And not just Christian, but like, how do I explain it? Like, the Protestant just Bible Christian, like the so-called pure version. Mm-hmm.
That's all I was about to say.
Let's put it on the table. I ain't trying to sound racist. I'm telling you what I look out my window and see. Fuck my feelings. The Catholics got it more together than the Protestants. They racist and all that, but they got it together more. I'm saying Protestant Christianity is just running wild. This is what Elijah Muhammad warned us about. When Elijah Muhammad kept pointing at the devil, he said, I read Message of Black Man, he said that the Pope is the red dragon and leader of that part. He said, but the devil and his language and all that is this Protestant, King James, English, do whatever you want, nothing means anything, make it as you go. Christianity, so-called. They was whooping our ass, washing our mouth out with soap, telling us to name yourself Jones, calling it a Christian name. How is Jones a Christian name? How is Williams a Christian name? How is Matthew a Christian name? How is Mark a Christian name? How is Luke? This don't sound like the Hebrew dudes' names. Epplesheimer, Heinstenberg, Steinberg, Steven Spielberg, Epstein. This don't sound like people in the Bible names. But that's the brainwashing that Christianity puts you under. Just go for whatever.
Right.
It ain't about arguing all the details of Islam. That'll go forever. We built the universities. It's about the fact of Islam deals with logic. Your religion deals with beliefs. That's why your God got 7 names. It don't even make no sense. You can't just say, no, one name, Allah. It's like, nah, but this means that was translated into this, and that's him when he's floating, and that's him when he's stiff, and that's him on the picture, and that's him on the... Nah. You teaching my children to go with whatever. To be liars and go with the flow.
But what about when somebody say Allah has many names?
He got 99 names. We got that.
Some say
But I bet you ain't gonna catch no Muslim saying Al Shaddai, Joshua, Jesus. I got what you're saying. We can get deep, but I'm saying as far as when you meet these people and talk to them on a logical playing level, it's like, huh?
Right.
And then when you meet the Muslim, they like Allah. Like, we can get into all of that, but yeah, this
exactly.
is
but it's the fact that they're always confused in.
It's all. Thank you. That's my point. It's just a whole chaotic, confusion, throw you off thing.
Yep, that's what I was trying to tell him too. I'm like, shit, how many times have you used the word God during this conversation? He used the word God throughout the whole conversation, and he rarely used like the word, like he said, the word Yahweh. I'm like, but he never really used that name to refer to God ever. Like he did it to prove a point. To
God and the Father.
Yeah, he kept on saying God and the Father, and never wanted to
because
have a real.
He's the dangerous kind. He's the one that actually knows some shit. You know, our grandma and them would have been like, Jesus. Fuck y'all, Jesus. She wouldn't even play with it, right? She would have Jesus down to death. That's why you got to respect it. Like, all right, at least you stand on something. But his kind is dangerous. Them the kind that to get a kid, teach them all type of shit. He's like, look, I know because I was trained. Like, nigga, I came to prison and met some cold niggas that was like, bro, the first dude I met, he was like, he knew like some, I don't know what he believed in. He just had all type of shit he was on. The first dude that started teaching me, and he taught me everything horrible of Muslims. He was like, he was against Muslims so bad, I didn't understand why. It was really from debates. He was against everything Muslims, but he said they diet was correct. He said they read from right to left, that's correct. Then he gave me a Quran that was from right to left. This was the dopest shit I ever seen. I said, wow, what the right to left? Like Egypt and all of that, like the Hebrew, like, yeah. But he's saying Ephraim. He talking about the way they dress is correct. I don't know what he on. Right? So I just learned, bro, that part of the brainwashing is deep. And I feel like for our people, like me, I'm not on my deen and all that. You get what I'm saying? But that don't mean I don't know the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's like just because you ain't living up to the truth or because you was born into a Christian family, that them your flaws you got to get over. That don't mean you don't know the truth. You know what I'm saying? My middle name is Christian. It's so easy for me to just say, yeah, you know, I'm a deep Christian. If niggas agree with everything I say, if I say that, what? As long as I talk like him, remix it in, oh yeah, but it ain't about getting along and all that. This shit on the TV now. I'm tired of, you know, I've had them type of conversations where you kind of fix it for, I'm tired of that, bro. They out here raping these kids in our face and we still turn the blind eye talking about some Jews and all this and that. Man, them motherfuckers, that's why they did Kanye like that. I ain't no billionaire. I ain't got nothing to hide. You know what I'm saying? You kind of get what I'm saying? I'm starting to feel like because of what they doing to the celebrities, it's starting to, I be hearing niggas be like, shh, don't talk like that. And I'm like, what they gonna do? I'm a regular nigga. Fuck the white man. Fuck the Jew. Oh, no. You gonna kick my door down? You gonna ban me on Facebook? Okay, fuck Facebook. What is I don't get it, bro. It's like, they got us, bro. I don't think it's coming. I think they got us already. I'm trying to figure out how to escape now. I'm like, they got us, bro.
No, that's a fact.
Yeah, man. As you know, people be having ties to different stuff, so. But and then,
bro,
and
not
then,
really, like.
And And then some people just ignorant. So it's a balance of. Wait, somebody said. They say that's why the lessons have the date of Christianity going back to the Protestant Bible.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Because if you look on in the lessons, right, in the 1 through 10, the last in the student enrollment knowledge cipher degree, it says, "What is the birth of others said than Islam?" So no, the other said nation. So let's go back. So the born degree number 9 is, what is the birth record of said nation Islam? The said nation Islam has no birth record, has no beginning, no ending. It's older than the sun, moon, and stars. So before you even get to the knowledge cipher degree, you got to understand that Islam is peace. It's dealing with mathematics. It's dealing with culture. It goes back even before the Quran.
Mm-hmm.
The Quran is talking about a bunch of stuff that happened before it's written down, right? Mm-hmm. So Islam, what they're talking about, what they recognize as Al-Islam and Orthodox and that religion and the movement, yeah, that starts with Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because he had to be the perfecter, and we was already enslaved then. That's why I don't understand people keep bringing up slavery. We was enslaved then. Mm-hmm. We, the black man, we were enslaved then. They was running Africa. That's when the Christians kind of reached their peak. Mm-hmm. The Constantine and all that version of the Romans, right? So, but Islam have no beginning, no ending.
Exactly.
So, what is the birth record of others said Islam? So it said Buddhism is 35,000 years old. Now, how does that make sense when you got Siddhartha? Well, Siddhartha is one of them like white type things where it's like that's the accepted, popular, mainstream one that they push. He's the safe, But really, even in Buddhism, they believe that he's one of the many Buddhas. There's a Buddha right now. There's always a Buddha incarnated.
Buddha means the awakened one.
Yeah. So it goes back all the way 35,000 years ago to a black man, the Naga Buddha. Mm-hmm. But then it says Christianity is 551 years old. I never understood that. It was actually one of my students that taught it to me, because I taught it to him. He memorized it, and we did the rest of the 120. We initiated him. We did the math on it. Okay, you count back from 1933 or 34 when this lesson was given. You go back 551 years. So we had the year 1383. Right? We didn't know what that was. And he found it. It was John Wycliffe. And I always remember because Wycliffe John. Mm-hmm. John Wycliffe is the first man. Listen to what I'm saying. It's very important. It ain't about the Geneva and King James. It's all later. John Wycliffe is the first person, human, to take whatever version of the Bible was popular then and make an English version. And they killed him for this, because English is like a mixture of languages. You get what I'm saying? It's like a layman's. If you get what I'm trying to say, like it was like, you got to think, God, this is back when the what's that shit called? Dark Ages and shit. So they can't even read. So English was kind of like a way for them to communicate. It ain't too rough like Latin. It's more simple. You know what I mean? So when he put it in English, it wasn't just for England. It was for North Europe. Mm-hmm. But it also was back then, what no one wants to talk about is no one was allowed to even have a Bible back then. This is what the Christians don't know. There's no point in even arguing with them, really. That shit is for entertainment, just to kind of flex on them. Like, bro, we know what you're talking about. But really, everything they're talking about doesn't matter to the culture they're talking about, because the Christian culture couldn't read to the 1800s. The Age of Enlightenment is in the 1700s, brother. They didn't even start drawing pictures till then.
Nah, everybody on that brother shit. Everybody, I said, bro, the fact that you even on that brother tip just shows what's subconsciously going on with your brother.
Like, but I'm saying, if they wasn't even drawing pictures and writing into the 1700s.
But everybody doing that, though.
They already had slaves before they had white Jesus. Yeah. We give them too much credit, bro. White Jesus is just a mascot for them. They wasn't even that deep, like, here we go to psychologically. No, they didn't even have no picture of no God. They had nothing. They came out of the Dark Ages. They prayed to us. They bowed down to the Moors. Their graduation hat is everything to them. Nigga, this was them finally, in the Age of Enlightenment, in the 17 to 1800s, creating pictures. Then that's why the gay white Jesus doesn't even come to, was Caesar Borgia, was he like 1500, 1600, way later in the game. because they was coming out of the Dark Ages.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I got it right here. I don't make this stuff up. Caesar Borgia, 1507. What is he famous for? Machiavelli, the Prince. Look. Caesar Borgia, Jesus. The claim that the modern Western image of Jesus Christ is based on Caesar Borgia is a persistent theory popularized by Alexander that suggests that Pope Alexander VI commissioned artists like Leonardo da Vinci to paint Jesus using his son, a notorious Renaissance military leader, as a model. See, other niggas want to get up there and say, white Jesus and what he did. I'm not one of them. I'm in the studying.
Right.
You feel me? You gonna have to come at me with some real shit. I know exactly who this devil Jesus y'all talk about is. It may have sounded funny when I said it, but I meant that. That dude's a pedophile.
It's a fact, bro. You talk about that version of it, though. And that's what I was
saying. It ain't a version. That's not Isa.
Exactly.
That's Jesus. You got a kufi on. We gonna stand on this. That dude ain't on the phone. We ain't gotta be nice. Nigga, no. Okay? It's not a version. There is no version of Jesus. They don't exist. Didn't no English people ever go to Hebrew land, wherever the fuck that is, and get the Hebrew books and translate them into English. That's a lie that we allow these dudes to always throw in these fucking arguments. All them English versions are translated from the Latin and the Greek. So y'all start there. Y'all don't know nothing about the Hebrew version. Y'all are insulting our intelligence by even saying that. And us, the Muslims, taught you niggas how to even read. So we know for a fact you never saw the Hebrew version. On crap. Stop playing with me, bro. Like, niggas is ready to war. Like, I feel insulted. Like, now that I learn more and more, and I know these dudes got theologian degrees and they argue all day, I'm like, they playing in our face now. They playing in our face at this point. Like, bro, didn't nobody translate no Hebrew book into no English? Are you serious? Who? I named my niggas John Wycliffe, the authors at Geneva, the authors underneath King James. Let's keep going. There's a couple other versions of the English one, right? But when you go back to the Latin and the Greek, these are real books put together. But guess what? You know why ain't no bunch of them? Because the people wasn't allowed to even have the Bible back then. This is the real conversation no one wants to have. The Bible wasn't even popular to the English version. It's for sure the fake one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the toy store. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like you got the original, and you got like so the Latin and the Greek version, while they be looking all big and like that, was for like rich people who even knew how to read. Most of the population, most people in Europe for sure didn't know how to read. You get what I'm saying? So this is like the rich noble man who knows Greek and Latin and everything, and he has this big book, and people didn't have books. It's called the books. He had a copy of the books. This was the whole library. The book from Matthew, the book from John, the book from Luke. This is just European culture. Mm-hmm. It only becomes deep when we put it back to our grandma hands. If you could somehow, some way take it out your grandma hands and put it back into Europe hands, and just call it what it is. It's as simple as you said. It means the books. This book from Moses, this book called Genesis, this book called. It don't even matter if it's the right version. We got movies that's watered down, right? We got American versions of movies. So I'm not arguing that. It say all that. That's the white version. This is the nigga version. When they got into it about Jesus and all of that, the side that rose for the Africa, the Middle East, was the Muslims, the Moors, whatever you want to call it. We all know this now. This is not like 65 where it's just like, is that true? And you go to the library, right? You go on a field trip with your friends to the library downtown, and y'all look up and y'all see the picture of the Moor. You tear it out the book and you run home and you photocopy it and you say, look at the picture we found. That's not the time we live in, bro. And we know why we laugh, because it's shocking. Like, damn, someone really did all that back then to reveal that. Yeah, I was one of them. When I was in prison, it was the 2000s, but we don't have technology. The guy used to wait on mail to show a nigga a picture of a nigga I'm talking about. This is Mansa Musa. He's real. Look it. Now I Google this shit and realize, these niggas just hiding this. They just don't want to talk about it.
Mm.
Because the key I found with Islam that knocks me out my socks is, I'm clearly talking from a historical, cultural point of view. I'm not talking from a religious point of view. I'm talking from the point of view of pro-Africa. Like, nigga, there was no time in African history where it was great except for Islam. Everything else, you have to find me a kingdom, a part, a piece. There was never a part where Africa came together. It had a black identity and a name and whooped ass and had gold and women and even all the bad stuff. Bodies and smashed everybody. All that, nigga. Islam. You want to look at it from the military standpoint, I'm coming from the point of self-esteem, right, and self-identity, right? So I noticed even when I was in prison, the reason why the Ummah never tripped on me when I would have my students and all that was because they liked the fact that even they would come to me and be like, oh, so, tell us about, it's all Muslims I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Melchizedek and the fairy tale guys. No, that's cool. I'm teaching them about Yaqub al-Mansur, Ahmad Baba. Well, this is people I would want my kids to know about, not because of religion, because I want them to know of these black great men, these even Spanish great men in Spain and Portugal. Now, this unites us, bro. You know what I'm saying? When I be talking to even my homies that's Belizean and shit, like, bro, don't, nigga, I got homies that be like, nigga, fuck my last name, I'm black, cuz. I be like, bro, calm down. Like, nah, we together. Like, bro, you know the Moors and that should be bringing us. You feel what I'm saying, homie? That's Islam, bro. You know what I mean?
That's how it is. Like what you saying in West Africa, like all throughout Africa, like Islam united, like all the tribes and stuff, like the Mandinkas, the Wolofs and stuff, the Fulani, they all be like beefing back prior to Islam. You feel me? Islam united all of these tribes for real. You feel me?
Yeah.
All throughout West Africa. And throughout Africa in general, for real.
I really look at it this simple now. Is this where I probably just got here after teaching my book. I don't even know if I felt like this when I wrote it. This is where I'm at with it now. In European history, you're reading Christian history, right? King Henry, Queen Elizabeth. Think about it. Like, that's like the main era. Everything else is kind of like Julius Caesar's, like ancient, you hear a couple names or whatever. But like the buff zone of like more current, 1500s, 1600s, that's Christian history. Would you agree? Like all them different kings and queens are Christians.
Correct.
Even if they got names like David, Joseph, we're so Christian out the mind in America, we don't see nothing of it. That's European. No, that's Christian. Their funerals, their weddings, the way they dress, all of that. Because when you look in Africa and look at their culture, it's Islamic. And I'll prove it to you. What's the first thing niggas say when you start talking about history in Africa and bring up Islam? Oh, they enslaved us. Oh, they don't believe in this. They don't believe in that. They fight it well. They don't say that about the Christians. Mm-hmm. When you bring up King Henry, don't nobody stand up and say, I don't want to hear about him. King Henry is with the people that enslaved us. Nobody says I don't want to hear about Queen Elizabeth. Nobody says I don't want to hear about King John II. I don't want to hear about, no. Niggas like, bring it on. Even if they don't know what you talk about, they'll agree. Like, yeah, Charlemagne was him, huh? Yeah, Charlemagne. Those is Christian, bro. They don't even realize they're Christian. You bring up Ahmad Baba, Mansa Musa, the dude before him, Abubakar II, was Sunni Ali, like any of these brothers, right?
Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba.
Yeah, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. They'll be like, oh, that's that Muslim stuff. Before you even get to the information. The homie sitting right here may say that.
Who is
that? He's not Christian, though. He's for sure Christian.
Who is that, bro?
Sure. That shooter from Avalon, when they claim Rob T. Grizzly and shot him and all that crazy shit.
Yeah. Man, I seen that video.
This is Christian thinking, bro. So, it's like, I'm talking about the culture. You get what I'm saying? I'm not going to say, the Europeans weren't Christians because they didn't follow what I read in the book. That doesn't make any sense, bro. Now you're going into pure, delusion. We're talking about a group of people here. Mm-hmm. Okay? So, even if, I'll even go this far, this may sound crazy, even if you finna talk about some bad or wrong stuff, I guess, That's what you want to call it. We're talking about my people. And I don't got to go off I used to go off the historical deep shit, like we were stolen from Egypt or the Moroccans were really. But what I learned is this, though, bro. You don't even got to do that. If you go to the exact place they claim Negro, Sub-Saharan African, mutant, whatever they want to call it, come from, right? That exact Gold Coast, it's the richest part of the world in history. Not just on some gold, we stole their gold, like Mansa Musa, like they ruled themselves, they had the best, you get what I'm saying? Timbuktu, they hide this. Then you go to the other place, for all the other brothers that's with us, they will divide us and say, oh, these last names, you got a European, they're Spanish. Yeah. Who spoke Spanish? The Moors. And niggas ain't never heard a nigga talk like this. I got on the homie about that. I said, bro, stop dissing your name. I'm like, bro, your name, whether it's Latin or not, it proves that you are Moor. I'm like, that's why I be trying to explain to all my Spanish homies, y'all don't get it, bro. I'm like, it's not a white heritage. That's how they brainwash you. They claim everything. That's a Moorish heritage. Because even the Moors who converted to Catholicism and took on names like Lopez, that's Latin, right? But they were still Moors. You get what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. It doesn't change their genetics. So what I'm trying to say is them is both hot spots where they shipped niggas out of. And them is both hot spots where niggas themselves was coming out of. Them is both hot spots when we was in power shipping their ass out of. Right. You know what I'm saying? It was both hot spots. And in both them hot spots, it was high level Muslim rulers. And if we go beyond religion, if we ever get there, hopefully one day we'll get there, these are the sickest stories ever. Sickest story. Bro, sometimes I sit back and roll one and just read like, damn, this nigga had 80 wives and 2,000 bodies. I'm talking about on that level. I be like, these Muslim niggas is killing off any of these movies we got. Do you know this nigga Ishmael bin Sharif had 500 concubines, 1,070 something children? Oh. Damn. He had some shit called the Black Military where he had like 100,000 literally niggas. Like, not even to use that word, but just to paint the picture. Like, they said all the black, and I'm like, they keep leaving this out. This is important. They said he made all the black people in Morocco his slave. But when we hear the word slave, we think of like chains and shit. He's saying like he made them under like this military where they have to answer to him. So it fucked up their status. But they actually had like choppers and gold and like some movie. So I'm envisioning this shit like, can you imagine like 100,000 niggas with choppers and gold and the red fences on? Why we don't talk about this, bro? Have we gotten that religious? Like, you know what I'm saying? The black history in Islam is crazy. We so worried about the Egyptian king. They got niggas killing the Egyptian kings. Look at Mansa Musa. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's where I'm trying to get brothers to go.
Bro, especially when it comes to the look.
That's why I be going so far to say F them stories. I be like, bro, if you can hear the stories, that's like the Quran is. I love the Quran is that way because what it's showing you is you're not going to get everything you're looking for, right? That's not what this is for. This is how to live, bro. Mm-hmm. Oh, they over here for to kill each other. Oh man, it's that Christian stuff. See how they talking? But what I'm saying is, bro, on the level of being like a Black Power history dude, especially with the stereotype of getting out of prison. Everybody got out of prison and talk about this shit, right? Oh, what's the favorite one? Shaka Zulu, King Asar, Osiris, and right, and all the King Tut, and all the 1, 2, 3, right? Yeah, but what this first started off was from like debates and stuff like that. I wanted to find a source that was like special to me, right? And true to me too. I wasn't trying to just find something different. So what I noticed was when I was dealing with Islam, whenever I would want to find like black history that wasn't like popular, but that was like, cause you know niggas always into the ancient shit. So it's like I don't want to make it too ancient. You know what I mean? I want to make it connectable. It was always a time thing. It had nothing to do with religion. It had to do with the time period. And the first person to point this out to me was Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad had said, In the Revelations, when it says we're going to lock the devil away for 1,000 years before he gets to roam the earth, he said that could be. He didn't say it was. He said that could be the 1,000 years that we held the Europeans in the Dark Ages in Europe. He said that goes from he gave a date. He said that goes from the birth of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings upon him, to the 1555. Ever since I ran with that, bro, I'm coming back with name after name after name after kingdom after kingdom. I just stay in between that 1,000 years. And it's like, bro, you can't tell me. I wonder if we even got the real Quran anymore, because whatever they was reading, bro. Like, bro, it's ridiculous, homie. It's ridiculous, bro. Like when you look at it just historically, like how if we was reading the history of Buddhist leaders or Christian leaders, we were just looking at plain of Aztec leaders, like, you know, bro, it's nothing even close to it. Nothing even fathomable. We talking about before. Okay, listen. First of all, the Arab slave trade, they did like one of the biggest, longest slave trade in history, right? Mm-hmm. So the first thing we do because we brainwash is think, how could you let them? They enslaved us. Nigga, they was enslaving white people. What are y'all talking about? They literally started enslaving Africans like at the ass end of it because that became so profitable. That's like the 1700, shit like that. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But like historically, everybody knows they was selling. That's what, bro. The Arab slave trade is where the word slave come from them enslaving so many Slavics, right? Mm. Just go back to the Bible times when what's his name was sold, Joseph. He was sold to the Ishmaelites, right? So the Arab slave trade, if you look at it genetically, it's proof of the original our ancestors. That was the slave masters, if that makes sense what I'm saying. They slept with so many of they subjects that they start blending with them. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So, if you think about it, when you go into Islam historically, if you look at it from the religious level, yes, it's the sun, moon, and stars. We can debate all day. But that's why I say I'm done with. Now I just take their version, and I realize that niggas don't even study. You can just go with their version and still whoop them. Let's start from their version. Okay, the whole world was corrupt. Rome took over. They was raping all the kids. The devil was incarnated on earth himself, Tiberius. It was over, and then Islam came and saved the day. Black people start being free, having money. Gold. It sounds like a movie. Gold chains on, streets of gold, teaching everybody. Mm-hmm. It's not even believable. Right. But it's facts. So if what Elijah Muhammad is saying, and we was already into Revelations then, it makes sense. This is the part where we let the devil back out, right? But we seen paved golds. You get what I'm trying to say now? Like, we seen that. We can't even imagine that. Mm-hmm. And so they keep us stuck on the past when it didn't exist, like Egypt. Okay, Egypt is one area. But what we don't know is during the time of Islam, our ancestors ruled the planet, bro. They was getting on ships going from the Philippines, back to the Americas, back to Africa, Asia, the Middle East, Europe, all that. That was nothing. Mm-hmm. Bro, we was taking salt, sugar over here, like, what? It's all... They kind of fucked up what was going on. We was on already.
Yeah. Exactly. That's why they talk about how Christopher Columbus discovered America. Yeah, he discovered that shit for the Europeans. He didn't discover that shit for us. We already discovered it. Yeah, we already had this motherfucker. Mm-hmm. And then, like, they talk about, like, Marco Polo's, like, adventures and how, like, he traveled the world, but they don't talk about Ibn Battuta. Like, Ibn Battuta
yeah, see, he a real one right there. He a real one. That's what they don't talk. Even a lot of Muslims don't. That's the key right there. For real, bro. I read. Guess what? I went to this place called. Not to keep cutting you off, but I just got excited. I went to this place called The Last Bookstore downtown, and they had his book, bro. Mm-hmm. And I stole it up out of there. I read it. I ended up selling it to somebody, but I read it over and over, and I couldn't believe the shit he was saying, bro. It was scaring me because I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, them niggas just try to teach us fucking history from their perspective, bro. And that's what we were trying to tell bro too. Like, man, stop going to their sources, bro. We have sources too, bro. Like, we have scholars, bro. Sheikh Auntie Diop, Dr. Asa Hilliard. Like, they'll tell you about the monotheism of ancient Egypt. That's why Islam is ancient Egyptian, ancient, the same religion of old. Like, it's the oldest religion, has no time, like you said, like, for real. It goes back, like. Niggas just don't be understanding that shit. They be like, oh, Islam came about with Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Like, no, it did not, bro. He just had to bring it to the forefront. He had to bring it to the, you feel me?
But what I'm saying is, that's how they beat us, right? Because it's a religious argument. If you go historically, and I ain't saying you wrong or right, I'm not saying I'm wrong or right. I'm just saying, to me, it's a perspective thing. Like, if you come at them historically, like, okay, that's what you want to say, it started 1,400 years ago, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah. Because 1,400 years ago, what's going on now, that's what I was trying to show him. Like, what's going on now is what's going on then. Tiberius and them, the Christians and the Jews that funded slavery and funded kids getting raped in the islands, this was going on back then. You want to keep talking to me about Jesus' story, nigga. The Christians and the Jews been corrupted for 2,000 years. And the niggas that fought them was called the Muslims. It's been going on. Matter of fact, if anything, the Muslims have started to be corrupt now. They mixing in with them so much. You get what I'm saying? Like, nigga, historically, yeah.
Hell yeah, a lot of the Muslim nations is fucking. That's why I feel like the Iran is like the only niggas that was really brave enough to stand up against the West for real in this day and time.
Come on, bro. And that's why I went so hard in the conversation. I'm like, bro, come on, it's Baphomet. Like, it's out there now. Like, first it used to be kind of like we got to kind of be slow how we explain it. And it's out there now, bro. Iran not playing. They showing you, like, bro, they all together. It's all one.
Yeah, man.
See, the sad part about it is this. Is back to what I was saying. I'm still not talking about religion. That's religion. That's like spiritual, philosophical, intellectual. I'm talking about plain hard history and culture. Meaning, like, I'm talking about like the same way niggas will brag about Shaka Zulu or King Tut or just African leader, whoever the hell, Idi Amin or whatever. It's like all that's in Islam. That's one of the high points of African history and high points of Africans controlling other lands and having imperialism and their highest point of wealth and control over all these languages we speak now. And all, you get what I'm saying? Like that's the bridge. If not, then you keep getting these old ancient stories and thinking of unsophisticated people stuck in trees and jungles swinging, trying to figure things out. No. And then, like he said, see, when you get deep, like Ibn Battuta, right? This was like, that challenges Marco Polo, like he said. So then you start to realize, oh, I can't even be mad at them. They're giving me their story.
His story, yeah, his story. That's his story, yeah, not ours. Yeah.
My story.
Yeah.
Feel me? And until you cross that bridge, you're not gonna get it. You're gonna look for the story, and they're lying. They're not lying. That's their story. They Marco Polo. They white Jesus. That's them. You arguing about what they is because you don't know that you got your own version. And that's what he keep trying to tell you. We got our own books. We got our own sources. Nah. I don't listen to blacks. Okay. Because you talking about them Christian ones.
Exactly.
Right. God logic is black as hell.
Man. Yeah, that was entertaining though. For sure.
Man.
That was fun.
I don't know, man. We're gonna wake up one day.
One day they is.
Inshallah.